Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back. Today we're breaking down the moments where modern dating narratives completely backfire. And the crazy part is, most of them expose themselves without even realizing it. But let's get into it, right after you subscribe, of course.
Feminism is all about maintaining these equalities.
So would you want women to be drafted?
I think that, I don't want to go to war, but I think if it was to happen, I think that I should be drafted as much as a man should be drafted. And I'm anti-war. I don't want to go to war.
Yeah, you wouldn't be okay with it. Most women wouldn't.
I think it's not an ideal situation where anyone has to be drafted, but I think everyone should be if it becomes necessary. I think it's part of, that's a difficult thing because I don't really want to talk about war in this scenario, because if you're drafted for the war, I think that if you have a skill set, like if you're able to do tasks that aren't, men have a better time with like hard labor, I think. And I think if women got drafted, they should be put into tasks that they're able to do. If we're all being treated as equals, also have equal things happen to them that are maybe not as good.
So would that be the ideal society for you? Like we are completely equal, meaning that women also get drafted?
Respect where it's due. At least she's consistent. Everybody loves screaming equality until equality starts including the uncomfortable stuff. Military drafts, dangerous jobs, real sacrifice. Suddenly, the room gets quiet. She didn't run from the question, and that's rare these days. The crazy part is how fast the equality conversation changes depending on who's expected to pay the price. Funny how that works.
When women insult men, they're actually just insulting themselves. If a man does anything that is deemed stereotypically a female behavior, like they catch an attitude, they complain, they wear bedazzled clothes, I don't know, a woman will go insult that man's manliness by calling him a woman. They'll be like, do you need lip gloss? Like, do you want my tampon? Like, okay, diva, okay, princess, okay, queen. Because those behaviors aren't considered like something men should do. But, they're behaviors that women do. But they're negative behaviors. And women basically call men annoying by calling them women. Do you understand how fucking crazy that is? Men already insult each other and insult women by harping on the fact that they are doing like bitch behavior. And then women will go insult men by insulting themselves. Do you actually understand how fucking brain dead you have to be to participate in this kind of exchange? Like, men are laughing so fucking hard at you right now. I cannot stress enough how stupid some of you women sound when you try to like bite back at men or you call them gay. And the only insult is that they are doing stereotypically feminine behaviors. Like, you guys are actually fucking birds.
This is actually hilarious. Women will spend 5 minutes explaining how amazing women are, then use "you're acting like a woman" as the ultimate insult. Bro, pick a lane. If feminine traits are so empowering, why do they suddenly become ammunition the second you're roasting a guy? That's the contradiction right there. The jokes basically write themselves.
Like, I can go online and say, I hate all men. We should kill all men. I don't like men. And women will be, yay! Like,
call men stupid in every possible way that you can.
If a man did that, if he went online and said, I hate women and I'll like kill all women, misogynist, canceled. You can't say that, that's terrible. There's not like a balance there, if that makes sense. So they're able to influence media in a different way than men are.
Bro, that's the double standard nobody wants to admit exists. One side can throw around "I hate men" like it's a personality trait, and people clap, flip the genders, and it's instant career deletion. Nah. That's not equality. That's selective outrage. The crazy part is, people pretend this imbalance isn't real while proving it every single day. And then they wonder why more guys are checking out of the conversation. That tells you everything.
Would you like to see a woman president one day?
No.
Why?
Women shouldn't be in politics because it weaponizes our maternal instinct against us. So what do they do to women? Well, how do they get so many women to vote left wing? They use things like abortion. If we're talking about illegal immigration and ICE, what do all the photos and videos show? Families getting separated, children being deported by ICE. So women see that and they're like, oh no, the poor child, the families, they're getting separated. That's that maternal instinct. So then they're going to vote Democrat because they think, oh, well, they're going to keep the children here and not separate the families. That's why women should not be in politics.
Just for the sole reason of emotionally driven messaging.
Yeah.
That's that easy to manipulate women.
It is that easy. Take Mamdani, for example, okay? 82% of voters that voted for Mamdani, who refuses to condemn Sharia law, by the way, it's 82% of women. And I'm sure those women would identify as feminist. But you're voting for someone who refuses to condemn Sharia law, which is very anti-feminist.
Well, they don't know what Sharia law is.
No, they don't know.
They have
That's
no
what
idea.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Not everyone should just be able to vote.
Why do you understand this and other women don't?
I don't have the ego of a lot of these women to say that we should all be equal. I don't feel entitled to vote simply because I was born in America. I don't feel entitled to vote just because I feel like I should be equal to everyone.
Bro, this is exactly why emotional messaging is so powerful in politics. Whether you agree with her or not, she's pointing out that people often vote with feelings first and facts second. The gotcha moment? She says women are easily swayed by emotional appeals while criticizing other women for doing exactly that. That's a bold take. And you already know the comment section is about to become a battlefield. Grab the popcorn.
I don't actually think men want to be providers.
You don't think so?
No.
Tell me why.
This kind of responsibility has been given to men many years ago, obviously, when it was possible to be providers. Okay,
Right.
but that's a very long time. And we have evolved and life has changed. And a lot of men are really just saying, we didn't sign up for this. Hey, like, I don't want to do this. A lot of men would rather go 50-50. A lot of men would rather actually sit at home and have the woman pay, and bring home the bacon. Honestly, I think that is what I'm seeing a lot more these days. I think the reason why they say that they are providers is because it gives them something to talk about. It gives them something to have value, because men have always been judged harshly and criticized in society. And we've always asked the question, what value are you providing in society? Because if a man doesn't provide value in society, he doesn't get looked at. Whereas women, we have innate value. We're
Reproductive
born,
value.
yeah, we're born with it. We don't, if a woman literally doesn't want to do anything, doesn't want to work, she could be in a random village up a hill somewhere and she's very beautiful, and a man could just come along and go, do you know what? You're the one. I'm going to give you this amazing life. Yeah. So pretty privilege exists. All of this stuff exists, right? So I actually don't think that men want that responsibility on them, but a lot of men feel like they have to take that responsibility on, because what is my value in society? What is my position in society? What do I bring to society? I can't provide the things that women can provide. I'm not really able to give that emotional value, right? A lot of men can't even access their emotions. Let's be real. A lot of men haven't cried since they were 5 years old. Let's be real. So what are you providing? Can you sit down on a bed when someone is dying and can you nurture them? Can you give them love? No, you're going to walk away and you're going to be like, hey, I'll let the woman take care of this. I'm just a bloke.
And there it is. She accidentally explained why so many men are walking away. Society tells men they're only valuable if they're useful, then acts shocked when guys get tired of carrying the whole load. Meanwhile, she admits women have innate value, but still expects men to keep proving theirs every single day. Bro, imagine playing a game where only one team has to keep earning points just to stay on the field. Crazy.
Don't cancel me, please. I'm just starting to get followers on this app, but as someone who really believes that women are worth their weight in gold, does anyone else feel like we're getting a little bit too money hungry, a little too this for that, a little too transactional? Like, I was overhearing like a girl having a conversation at the store, and she was like, yeah, this guy is nice or whatever. He wants to take me on a date so we can like get to know each other, but I'm not going nowhere until he pays a bill. Why would he do that?
It's because prostitutes and escorts have infiltrated the high-value woman, relationship advice, hypergamy, and dating online discourse. That's the disconnect. Along with wags and girlfriends of musicians and other just rich people entering the chat as well, the general public unable to differentiate between or scale behaviors in lifestyle A versus lifestyle B. In fact, let's get that part out of the way first. Wags, girlfriends of musicians, rich people, they're living a specific lifestyle, which makes flying to Paris for a first date, being gifted a Rolls Royce on Valentine's Day, everything else extravagant normal because they're dating such high net worth individuals. They post online about it, and then a subset of women get it in their minds that if the man pursuing them isn't flying them to Greece on date night, he's not actually interested, or he's a bum. While there are lifestyles you can live, even innocent ones where extravagance to that degree is normal, it is very important that men and women who are not living those lifestyles do not compare themselves to the people who are, or base their perspectives on dating and relationships on those lifestyles. The man who works a 40-hour week, pays the bills once you're in a relationship, takes you out to dinner, spoils you on Valentine's Day, etc., is not a bum because he cannot spend the same amount of money Lewis Hamilton can on a date. But more relevantly, because I think most women understand the former, there are a lot of prostitutes and escorts on social media giving young women dating advice, and that's much more insidious than rich girls and guys living extravagant lives because it's harder to tell that the prostitutes are prostitutes. It makes little to no sense for a man first meeting you to pay your bills. The dynamic wherein that does make sense is if he's a trick. He's trying to buy you something or pay for something so you'll bust it open, sister. And that's what a lot of the girls who give that type of advice are looking for and doing. Courting and escorting are not the same thing. And mixing up those two things is going to have you out and about behaving like you're selling something you're not selling and attracting men who are looking to buy. And before they start, oh, so men just aren't paying for you. That may not be the standard for you, but some of us, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about a well-off man trying to be suave by passing you a $100 bill at Soho House, or meeting a man on a first date and him letting you play a few rounds of blackjack with his money. I'm not talking about men paying for the first date, or even if that first date ends with you getting a bag or a shoe. I'm not talking about your established boyfriend or husband buying things for you and paying the bills. Okay? I think men you're in relationships with should pay the bills. I'm fully aware of the ways men use women and why women now want to make sure they're getting something out of the arrangement as well. Ladies, keep your foot on their necks. But that's not what I'm talking about, is it? I'm talking about the women on this app and social media who sell a very specific aesthetic to reel young women in, who sell a very specific image of lifestyle to reel young women in, who speak about dating and men in a very specific way and have very specific asks for their company. Asks they're able to ask because the part they aren't saying out loud is that they're having sex in exchange for those asks, and that the men they're asking are a very specific type of men looking to do the asks in exchange for sex. Don't take dating advice from prostitutes and escorts who are concealing that they're prostitutes and escorts if you're trying to have a normal relationship, because that's not what they're selling.
This guy just exposed the biggest scam on dating social media. Half these high-value dating coaches are selling luxury lifestyles that only exist because somebody's paying for way more than dinner. Then regular women copy that playbook and wonder why normal men disappear. Bro, if your first date sounds like a business invoice instead of a conversation, don't be surprised when you attract customers instead of husbands. And there it is.